Here's the bottom part. Here, let's go. Here we go. Woo. Let's see. Here we go. Brrr. Start over. These guys talking trash, right? Oh, watch out! First day on planet Earth.
You look just like you.
Dude, he's lucky that's there. That's how people die, man. They go over the guardrail. He was inebriated. He was wasted. You know, like that other guy. There's this football player. Mom, remember? Do you remember that chick Libby
Maybe.
that I used to hang out with
Yeah,
in Omaha?
in Omaha.
I don't think you liked her very much. That's all right. She went on to do bigger and better things besides hang out with us. She went on to but she moved to Philadelphia. She's that guy's barber,
Oh, that's
right?
great.
And he's a football player, cause her husband is a Freemason scumbag and gets all the good gigs. So she got into the locker room at the Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh, you should get stuff.
So she does his hair, right?
His hair.
And so, I mean, and then, like, if you go to her Instacrap page, that's what happens. Like, people live from ego and do the money, property, prestige way, or they go on to live from their heart, which you can't do. You can't have both.
No, bro.
And she's like, right, you know, she's got her picture, like, she's just like, they love Beyonce. I got, like, one song in my phone from the olden days of nostalgia because of the time period of where I was. I don't have none of her new shit. I mean, it's like back when she was with Destiny's Child, like her sister, you know, before she really sold her soul. So, but that chick does this guy's hair, and this guy, he's all over the interwebs because, he doesn't. Mom's been teaching me about emotional control my whole life. She's always said if you do not learn how to control your emotions, you will end up in an institution where somebody will control them for you. And that never seemed like a very good idea. My mouth always got me in trouble. I wasn't even making up stuff and making up lies, right? But I would say, hey, that's not fair. And then I would say the reasons, and then people would be like, we got to quiet her. It's occurring to me, I'm a little slow sometimes, how hushed I've been. And I'm such a big mouth, I can't be hushed. You know, Mom's been teaching me also since I was a little girl that the truth always comes out. And people will know who you are. And if you know me, I probably told a story about you at some time in the last 2.5, 2,500 videos I've done. I tell stories. That's what I do. My name's Marge. I'm a heyoka gayoka empath. I just like having these little talks on the way I feel about things, and things occurred to me, and then I share them. I'm not, I blab. I freaking, people don't like me because I am a person of integrity, and like attracts like, and most people don't like me because they don't have any integrity, like, at all, like they look up like if they used to say there's a poverty line, and we were always below the poverty line, looking up at the poverty line, that's all just because somebody felt like putting Mom in a bad place. God always led us through, because you always led with your heart. You didn't do a bunch of drugs, you didn't drink, you didn't, you tried to find a man, that's like the worst thing you did, right? You had a broken picker because you didn't have a very good example of what it was to have a positive man in your life. So you just did what you were told, what your adopted parents, how they presented themselves, and it didn't work out. Well, it did, but anyway. So, Ma, your birthday's this month. Couple weeks. Thanksgiving, on that holiday, that made up holiday. I'm grateful for you every day, so it don't matter to me. It's on Thanksgiving this year. So things are coming back around. I got Mom was adopted, and so now my I went to my phone carrier today to ask him some questions about, like, when he thought they were gonna launch. Oh yeah, obviously at Christmas, yeah. Well, so I went to ask some questions, and I'm like, this lady's like in front. She said she had drove up from Mora. That's a long way to drive up to pay your phone bill.
That's a long way.
It's like 30 miles south of here, right?
That's right.
Mora. And so that's where your adoptive dad, I think he was born around there. That's what it's on the birth certificate. Your birth or something like that. I don't know, but it's an adoption paper. It's not even, she don't have her birth. That's like, because she was thrown away. She was put in one into those Indian schools, one of those orphanages. She's born with 2 club feet. She's deformed. Oh, she ain't perfect. We're tired. We already have 11 kids. We don't want to deal with this. Let's put her in one of those orphanages. Maybe we'll get $20 for her. That was in Cuesta. And that's the story that's my reality until somebody comes forward and presents the truth to me. That's the only thing. And people know. Yeah, there's like local pages, history of Cuesta. Ooh, you got to be born and raised? How nice for you. So I'm telling the lady at the phone store about how my mom got thrown away when she was a little baby, but then we ended up here 4 years ago. After spending hell. It's been 4 years since we went through that hell of fucking Arizona. That was a hell on earth for 11. That was a dipping into a freaking pool of karma. I about thought I was going to drown in until an earth angel swooped in and grabbed us and pulled us right out. Thank you, Rajid. So, Tucker's over there, all just comfy as can be. So 4 years was a hard time. That's when we ended up here, and then we ended up even meeting one of Mom's nephews, so they know we're here. We ain't heard nothing back from them, So when we found out like who one of her cousins was a while ago, I actually did the research. Didn't take me very long, about 5-10 minutes. Found out where I went and saw to see her where she works. She runs the IT department at Kit Carson Internet, right? And then I befriended this other dude. His birthday is on March 25th, which is my dad's birthday. I mean, they have nothing. They don't look anything like. But I'm drawn to people by their energy, and energy is designated from the time they're born. And this guy, we got to talking, and I tell him, yeah, and my cousins, and he said that because I offered him cookies, he said I can't do that. I have a regular job where they drug test, and I can't. And I'm like, freaking weed, like really? That's some dictator shit. I mean, I get the whole safety thing too. Like it's dude, people. I used to, when I was in the Air Force, I would drink so much I'd wake up and I'd still be like teetering because I didn't sleep it off yet. And so they don't like that. So I mean, it stays in your system. Just because you go to sleep and wake up, don't depends on when you pass out. Don't designate your level of sobriety when you wake up. So a lot of ways, alcohol is a lot more detrimental. All the ways it's more detrimental. Alcohol. Anyway, but since it's legal, it's just accepted. So this cousin she's like, it's funny because I ran the student service desk. I was we started that, or I was one of the first employees that started that. It's like Geek Squad for the employees, or for the faculty, alumni, whatever, that agreed to pay all the money to give to Creighton. So worked there 5 years. Anyway, so it's this cousin that she runs the internet part. Well, this guy works for her, right? And he's like, well, I think I'm breaking the ice on her. like I'm trying to get her to, stop because she's all like, must be in the DNA. So we got this text. Now I got a different. I don't use them for internet. I try not to use Kit Carson at all because, well, they're a fucking monopoly, and it's gross and hoggish, and the guy, the CEO that sits in the highest chair, he must be the highest ranking Freemason in town too, because Lewis, he's been in that chair since 1993, and he makes $300,000 a year, so 2 years he's a millionaire. So like the guy's a mazillionaire like so many times over, yet there's so many impoverished people that are in his own community. And I know this because I'm in the community. I'm on the streets and I'm talking to people who are, boots on the ground in the community. And I'm not talking about, I think it's interesting. I don't think there's going to be a lot of people having fun this winter. Like, go ahead. Come up to Taos Ski Valley. It's probably not going to be that much fun because it's only November 4th. And then a storm came through, because there's only like one road in and out of this place, and like to get here, it's like to see. That's why like Torons chap my hide so much, because I think about all the effort that they take to get here from where, depending on wherever they are, and there's so many people in our local community, like they're just trying to fucking not freeze to death, And it's like that in all these communities. Any tourist community, you got this lower echelon that people think that there's non-profits and there's, churches. They can just go to a church and the church is gonna, and it's all bullshit. And the cracks of society are getting wider, so it's coming back around. All the neglect that people have given to others, they're gonna get theirs. Huh, Mom?
That's right.
People always get theirs. I got mine. If I'm not careful, I could occur some more stuff that I could get. So this text message came out. But I did have them for internet when I was out in Honda. It was just like, So I got, or in order to connect to the infrastructure that was there, I had to spend almost $300 for a router. And this is a router that it's like you go down to freaking Best Buy, which I don't have that luxury of where I live, because I live in a different dimension, I tell you. It takes effort to get to the dimension of Taos. Usually people are summons, but the Torons, man, that's just like, most of the people that come here, they come here because they came here when they were young, and they're just trying to recreate that vibrational frequency. Whee! Over and over. And it's like, okay, if you're gonna do that, that's fine, but fuck it, no. Help some people that are gonna help some people. And even the like homeless shelters around here, they're all connected with the like veterans. It's like it's all in session, and it's just all the funds go to these like, and it doesn't trickle out to the people that really need it. So I've taken it upon myself to do things in the community, to build community. And so I got some pals at the grocery store. Now I'm becoming so sensitive. And the way the astrology is, I really need to be cognizant about when I go out. Don't be around a whole bunch of people. I get overstimulated. My mouth starts going. People get offended. Ooh, lolly, lolly. Now people are so, they lack emotional control. Oh, I gotta finish. This is what they did. Now, I know exactly what the problem is here, from my experience. And I haven't got a W-2 in IT since, I've been a stay-at-home daughter since 2017, full time. So they sent out a text message. Dear KCI customers, that's the Kit Carson Internet. That's what KCI stands for. It has come to our attention that Netgear has pushed a firmware updating the R7000 routers. This firmware has caused some routers to be corrupted. if you have been affected by this firmware update, you will notice the following. Number 1, no internet service. Number 2, the power LED is blinking white. Number 3, no other lights are lit on the router. Now, what the company says, and then it says, while we at KCI do not currently have a solution to fix these routers, we are working with our vendor to find one. You may try reaching out to Netgear for support. We apologize for any inconvenience they may have caused. If you go to the hospital, I wonder how many of these routers are in the hospital. Are they providing because they fucked up? They didn't put out a patch? Now all they have to do is work with the vendor. The vendor can create a patch which essentially runs it back. If anybody has that router, send them a text file. But a lot of people, like as I said earlier, they're driving, frickin' 30 miles and little old ladies are driving that far just to pay their cell phone bill. So see the world that so few are trying to create because, it makes them feel overstimulated and control and dominance and New World Order and all that shit. There's more people, they're just trying to fucking stay cold and not die through this winter. Or stay warm and not die. When I went to the market today, like I said, I was like, okay, I don't like the holidays. So what I learned to do years ago or do things, I like the seasons, positive, negative. I hate the fucking cold, winter, all that shit. But still, I gotta do things so I don't get sucked in and turn into a Grinch and all that shit. Because I don't want to fucking deal with other people that don't want to deal with the fact that I think all the stuff that they believe in 2024 is just really stupid at this point. So, go to the store, came up with the idea. There's 3 women that I check in with. They always ask me how mom was doing. One of them in the produce department today, I told her this story because it was early enough and she was just coming out setting up to start, that she wasn't all rushed and people come up and ask her questions and blah blah blah. So it was not so people-y yet. And so I got to tell her a story about Artie and how he went to, he transitioned into the no play space. And she starts crying. Like, I talk to people for 5 minutes and they're welling up there because they're I'm so well. That's what intimacy doesn't have anything to do with chasing sensations. It's 2 human beings connecting, right? That's what it is to me. So I have 3 women. I said, now you know who these people are. I said, I don't know who these people are. I said, I need you to help me find 3 people. And these 3 people, because these 3 people, they could be a single mom or a single dad. I don't care. They gotta be somebody that it's all right, God, I need a break. I can't do it. Like seconds and inches. It's gotta be like that. And if you know somebody, and the one, and I only got to talk to 2 because the third one wasn't there. So I didn't get to talk to her. I said, I'm going to come back in a few days and I'm going to get 3 $50 gift cards. And I want you to give them to these people because I know the holidays are coming up. Mom, frickin', holidays sucked for us. That's why I got to do this stuff. Because it sucked so bad from the time I was 7 years old until I was 12, 13, old enough to be like, dude, I don't even want to do this anymore. Because my dad was such a dick to me, and to travel, we wouldn't look forward to I would get excited, because the holidays and the excitement, and maybe I'll get all these presents, and I always got 2 or 3. And just because I was my dad's mistake. So every chance he got, he liked to treat me like he let the whole world know, yeah, I fucked up, so don't worry, I'm not going to beat myself up about it. I'll just treat this little girl that's autistic. I'll just, fuck with her and, like, be mean to her and stuff like that, just so she learns really what an asshole is. So that's what my dad taught me. So I've been looking for those positive examples of men my whole life, and here and there they're sparse, and then now it's like, what the fuck, all they do, like, every fuck ever, it's like, what, like, why is it, like, why is this? Because all these people have just been sitting in their video games, with their living rooms, watching video games all these years, and there ain't no God in that. So the one gal on the produce said, she's like, you know what? She's like, actually, she said, there's a lot, I can think of a lot of people that would really help out. I said, I don't do Christmas. I don't like it. I'll listen to Christmas music just so when I hear it, I don't go, I desensitize myself to it. So, I even have some on my playlist now, and there's positive memories that I have related to some. Driving around Omaha watching. I did all that 3D shit. I just, as I evolved, I just see the more of a need to freaking help people, and less of a need to freaking live in the loop that perpetuates of doing the same thing every year and thinking, like, the earth is going to get better, and it's just going to get worse, especially with all the freaking, dude, Oklahoma's just got freaking so many places just obliterated. I keep looking on my people that I know that live there, post something, and some people aren't posting stuff because they're without power, because, Earth cycles, the Earth cycles are coming back around. Everything's coming back around. Karma's coming back around. That perpetuates Earth cycles. The astrology is flaring, I'm hearing more stuff that freaking supports my belief systems about how astrology is activated by the sun, blast things with ideas and knowings and storylines, and then people get to choose and navigate which the way they're going to go. You're going to learn the lesson, or are you just going to keep living in that selfish loop? And as we can see on planet Earth, people are choosing the selfish loop. So but yeah, every Christmas, and it was always an unpleasant experience, the exchange. Sometimes they'd pick us up at Denny's, that was unpleasant because of my step monster made it unpleasant. And then but it was, and then the life lessons that we learned, because we'd have to get picked up. Mom would get us at noon. Dad would get us until noon on Christmas Day, and then Mom would pick us up, and then we usually have to rush someplace to catch a bus to go from wherever my dad lived to back to Reading, which was always seemed to be 11 and a half hours. It didn't matter if it was coming from Grandma's at Tasket or what bus day. It was like always 11 and a half hours, and then we watch people get left. We go watch freaking families get separated, and it's just, wasn't very Christmassy, but it's like, and then I'd start acting out because I didn't want to do it, or I'd come back and then I'd have this sense of entitlement. Mom didn't want to deal with that, she just freaking probably didn't even eat the whole time we were gone to pay for the bus ticket, huh?
That's right.
Is that right?
That's right.
The whole time that we were gone, you didn't eat. Just so you could buy us that just occurred to me. See, and it didn't have to be. That's the thing, is like, people have free will and they use it to be so ugly and withholding and make my mom suffer. Mom always taught me to be tried and true, and and from that sprouted our generosity, which gives me ideas. Like, sometimes I'll go to a parts store. I don't know if that, see, you gotta, the integrity to be the people, you're just, it's a crapshoot. But I'd go to a parts store and like buy a battery, and I say, okay, the next someone comes in, give it to the next single mom, or somebody that needs it. There's plenty of stuff that they have so much that they'll never go without, and then they just la-di-da while these people are like, I gotta be careful though. I'm not like, cause in Taos there's blues everywhere. those blues are all over the place. There's just these drugs, and people are just trying to escape, you know, because they don't have any alternatives. That's why I'm like, okay, I get why people escape, but if we give people alternatives, you know, then it's up to them. They can keep escaping, you know, or they can fight for their life and value their life and do something worthwhile with it. And I came, after I went to this market today, I walked next door to the flower shop where they sell my t-shirts, and walked past this couple, and he had his sign, homeless, anything helps. And he had the look. It's a different look than regular. And then there's this woman, and I could tell that she was clearly freaking cold, visibly cold.
Oh.
Like she was in it, like she didn't want, you know. And so I went to the flower shop, came back, and I had 2 $5 bills, and I gave one to him, and then I gave one to her, and I was gonna get her a schmuck and stuff. I just remember I forgot that. But I said, you want hot? I got focused on hot hands. I said, you want hot hands, and she's like, yeah. I said, well, I have these. I got to get more for the hands. I said, they're for boots, but they're bigger. And so I had some in the bourbon, so I went over and grabbed those and gave him a set. And I was like more focused on her, obviously, because dudes, man, you can fucking take care of yourself. You I mean, if I get mask enough to get as far as I've gotten in life, like, you know, fucking figure it out, shit, you know, guys. Anyway. So, this lady, and plus she was older than this other guy, too, that was holding the sign. And I said, are you cold? I said, they don't have a whole lot of hot food, you know, that's real quick, right? And I'm not going to go to McDonald's for that. Fuck that. I haven't, no Mickey D's. And so, I said, you want, and so I offered like what they had in the deli, because I just walked past it. This like chicken rice bowl with vegetable thing, and she's like, yeah. And I said, okay, I'll be right back. So I go inside to get that, a couple of those, and he was down, and then I came back and they were gone. And I was like, fuck, dude, like, you know. So I said, okay, so one of them I gave away, and the other one I brought home to Mom. And it's just not something we, you know, I don't really like Chinese. I can make my own Chinese food that's better than that. So, but it was warm, but they didn't want it. And that's happened a few times. So it's just like, you know, but there's always somebody else freaking 50 yards away that it's going to benefit from it, because that's what it's like in Taos. Is there's so many people that need shit, you know. It's like that in every community, but people ignore it. They're just like, well, if like Jerry, my brother, he's one of the, I was introduced this guy. How come I never see, because this guy, he died in 2017. That's the year we moved to Oregon in 2016. So I was a little preoccupied, right?
Yeah.
And that's like, I started doing my videos and stuff like that, okay? So this guy, his name is, and he's been around forever. Like these videos that came out 10 years ago, I'm sure the video was recorded years before that, right? Who knows when the original 600, but people are finding it. Stephen Darby Ministries, and he verified. It's funny. Like I would listen to his talk. It says 200. It says 10 years ago, and you look in the comments, and a lot of people are revisiting this stuff. And the one I was listening to a little while ago is called New World. What's it called? New World Order. And he passed away in 2017. I listened to his son's talk when he was giving the account of like what he was going through. Like his mom called, you know, and she was like experiencing grace in her own way because she was all calm. I'm like, that's grace, you know. He's like, and I felt like I was just like everything was in slow motion. I said, that's disassociation. Like, when people, like, because people have these common phrases that they use. I look at it as in, disassociation is little gifts that God gives us, when our soul is in our soul sack and something happens and it's too much for our psyche to bear, our spirit will whoop, okay, so it doesn't have to have that energetic imprint on it, and then the soul will come back down into vessel. You know, people usually go into, if they're, you know, then that's when they're usually given grace, that peace of like, what the fuck, because like, you know, it's happened a lot to me, and I don't like the clinical terms, so I'm gonna go with my own, huh, Ma?
Yeah.
We always go with our own way. I never like the narrative of what they're telling me, right? So I was listening to this guy's talk, and I was like, you know, I'm just, because I'm gullible, I'm autistic. They said so when I was 12. It's just like, well, if we just ignore it, you know, most like, people don't usually just fall down the cracks if you think different. If you don't get with the program, you don't get the benefits. You don't get all the rewards, all the prizes. And then, like, I start getting all this evidence. I think that, like, the world is fair and just and all this stuff. And dude, I'm just a byproduct. I think that I've been divinely protected my whole entire life, and plans have been foiled. Like, I wasn't supposed to make it. I was never supposed to, you know, when my brother, he was like, no, you're on. He was so nonchalant with like, no, you're on your own. What a perfect way to get rid of my sister is to have her become homeless with our mother. And knowing how sensitive she is, it's going to turn her into a frenzy. And she's probably going to act out because that's what she's always done. Anyway, I wasn't supposed to learn the lessons that Mom... I remember one time, ask if anybody out there, if you ever come across Jerome Allen Hessick, he's a lawyer. He's very important. He's got the connections because Hessicks have been Freemasons for generations. I just didn't know this because I'm not a man and I wasn't privy. And plus I'm autistic, so they look at me as, because my honesty, as being a blabbermouth. And they don't want their advantages to be disrupted. They don't want the world to know who they are. I'm gonna tell. So looking up my last name, Hessick, and he's got a lot more shit in Google on his shit. Like, dude, you didn't stay off the grid. You didn't. Because he's got a bar, so she's got a bar number. He's the assistant chief counsel for the Office of Parole. And he has bragged to me about how his office and the office of Governor Gruesome Newsom have exchanged letters. And I was like, how nice when the elite pass notes. Like they're doing something fucking important. In California, my native state, the state in which terrible, terrible things happened to me, all for my brother to say, that didn't happen. He's like a fucking parrot. That didn't happen. That never happened. That didn't happen. And I'm like, yeah, because I've been telling these stories my whole life to everybody I've ever known, and my story has always been consistent, and I'm pretty sure that's what people are looking for in the world of legalese, is consistency. And all he has to say for himself is, Marge has always had problems. She's very, you know, the same stuff that if you go, see, because he ain't on TikTok and all that, so he don't know that the word's out, that this is something that his program has said, you know, to try and discredit people. And all he can say is like, but I don't drink. I've been taking care of my mom. Like, nothing that my behavior contradicts his blah, blah, blah. So he's got all the advantage in all the systems that he's been a part of, you know. And to throw me and mom away, you know, it's just so nonchalant, like, she's your problem. That's what he said to me. I mean, the guy's a monster. And he can't, I mean, because she was never that terrible. He doesn't want the world to know that he's a monster. And the truth is coming out. And it's coming back around. It's coming back around. I saw pictures of him, like his wife and his beard and his kids went to they lived the program at the pumpkin patch, you know, daughter's freaking volleyball cap, like you know, I'll just live when people live, there's collateral damage. All these people are really concerned about the genocide that's going on in this country and the genocide that's going on in that country. And I'm like, dude, there's a fucking genocide in America right now. How many people just got wiped off the face of the earth in fucking North Carolina? Like, we will never know the numbers. And it's not 200. No. Thousands, I believe. And this has been verified by people that are there. The earth is floods everywhere, landslides. My phone is constantly popping off, and now we get to fit the freaking people that are just like, I want to go skiing, and then like, dude, there's Interstate 40 is already a mess. Because you want to know why? I'll tell you why. Because you have all these people with all the dreams and all the imagination and have all the energy to put in so that they can go way down a fucking hill. All the while ignoring all the people that are just like fucking just like, please God, please, praying, and they're ignoring the call. They're ignoring calls here. No, I gotta get my stupid Jeep or my Bronco or my you know, and end up in a ditch because they don't know what they're doing. They don't have they don't have the experience. They just see it on Instagram that, look, Jeeps in snow. I'm going to get me a Jeep and I'm going to go to the snow, and then they experience what it's like to drive in the snow. And there's more to it than they think. So you got all these new first time, you know, people that just got their CDL. And it's their first winter behind the wheel. Everybody's in a hurry to get to freaking beat their maker, I guess, because all the time 40 is just a mess all the time. And that's like one of the main corridors of freaking New Mexico. And every state is like this. And I've lived in lots of states. It's the program. Get with the program. You want to know, here's my take on, like, you want to know why the Simpsons are so predictive? Consider this. There's 50 states, okay? Go ahead and just like pick the city in which you live. Look at the city where you live. How many other cities have that same name? So you have all these different frequencies with the same ideology. And there's only so much ways that people can go. I mean, heck, you go back and listen to my videos 7 years, some of the things that I have said have been accurately true without saying the P word. So, you know, all you got to do is take into account astrology, know some astrology, then just get around to know how psychology works and people and free will, and, you know, are they going to keep acting like they do? You know, like right now, all these people are just activated. Everybody's biting at the bit to freaking revolution, civil war, rah, rah, rah. That's because their spirits live back when we did this 1776. Yeah, there's a lot of new timers on planet Earth, a lot of new souls, you know, that are coming here to experience what it's like. There's a lot of us old souls that know better, that know how this went last time. And we're the cycle breakers. So we want to make towns and places different. We want to break the program. We are the actual kind of like the virus that interjects just a different way of thinking. Because we don't go around, you know, doing the same things that the beast system is built on. Huh? Mama.
That's right.
Good thing you dated. Well, it had its bitter, Mom had a boyfriend when I was little. He used to sit me on his lap and show me like the Procter and Gamble show. I've been looking out for symbols the whole time. So the things that other people are like, it's like, this is my reality. I never knew it differently. So I'm kind of a tour guide to the new age, so to speak, which incidentally is kind of funny because when I was in the Air Force, they never even like call me by my rank.
Mm-hmm.
I was always Marge.
Who's Marge?
Marge.
Oh.
So here's a placard I got.
Oh, that's nice.
I don't remember who else got one of these. I have coins that are numbered. There's like only 100 and like maybe 200 were made, and I had like 120. I have a video of it. I can't find the actual coin. I know that I have the video. They're on the thumbnail. It's me holding the coin. It's an age coin. Age was my job career. I was a mechanic, and I was like, man, I don't like this getting cold and busting nails and stuff like that. I like the troubleshooting and knowledge, and you got the right tools. It's not so bad, but it's a lot of grunt work. And so I went the IT route. This is like they could spend money. See, because I grew up so poor, and then I didn't tell that story. Like, would you ask him if anybody? He'll probably say I don't remember, because I think we're like one of those MK Ultra kids, and he went with the program, and I didn't. I went with he went with ego, easing God out, and I went with God, good orderly direction. And so, like, all the advantages that people got. Like, people don't have food to eat because we're killing people in other countries and stuff, and then I realized what it's all about. But if anybody sees my brother Jerry, Mom and I were making fun of him earlier, cause just Razzie. Because he's a Virgo, and he's just so uptight, and he hates fucking attention. He fucking hates attention. And he doesn't like surprises either. Mom went to freaking she rented a U-Haul, right? Because she didn't have anybody to help her, and his practice wife was selling a roll top desk, and so they made she wanted it, and so she rented a U-Haul. Tried to make it to his house, got lost, and then showed up at like 9. It was like 10:30 at night. They were still up. They're night owls, but it surprised him. He freaked out, yelled at her, and then sent her home. Like, it's just like he's just always been so wicked, just mean. And so that's how I know what I got in me, because I think we get it from our dad. I get it from my dad. He's an Aries. I'm an Aries. He's April 25th Aries. He's first decan. I'm deacon. I'm second deacon. And then, so he don't like surprises. Anyway, he's going to be in for some prizes. God forbid I ever break through the algorithm, because my face looks just like his, only my smile is nicer, because he's a teeth gritter. He's always gritted his teeth. It's a conscience thing, or it's like I got it, like, he'll hold ill will. Like, same thing with my dad. I can't hold any ill will from all the years of neglect that he did and stuff like, oh yeah, that's what I said. If you ever see Jerry Essick, ask him about our trip to Six Flags. Like I said, I'll just tell you my side of the story. So it was one of those things. My dad, it was before my stepsister, rest peacefully, Jessica, Forever 39, 2022, September 23rd. October, yes. So, I gotta say, I don't want to forget the day she left. So it was before she was born, and we had to go down. It was Easter or something like that. One of the required court-ordered visit, which family court is another freaking bullshit paradigm that I know more than I ever cared to about. Extortion, freaking. Anyway, and my brother's a lawyer. That's why all this stuff just makes sense perfectly. To perpetuate such a twisted freaking system with such a twisted mind. So my dad woke us up at like 5 o'clock. Rubbly. That's how we wake up. We go see Dad. Isn't it? He refers to himself as dear old Dad. And I got so much trauma. Like, I wake up jumpy. I'm jumpy. And he and my brother both just thought that was funny. You know, it still as an adult, my brother would try to, like, it's just malicious intent and a whole history of it. Never changed, never evolved, changed out of that behavior, only more into that. So, go down to Six Flags. Or that's what it was. It was Dad wakes us up and he's like, okay, let's drive. Or he said, we got a surprise for you guys, you kids. Now, he's had surprises before, and they were just like a firecracker. You know, like one firecracker he pulled out of his, like he would build up to lead to something. New Year's Eve, like, okay, stay up till okay, we're good. Okay, we gotta wait till, and then it's gonna be great. Oh, you guys are gonna love this. And then they go out and then like have a little firecracker and just like, this is the stuff that he thought was funny. And we traveled so far for this shit, which is weird. So they're like, okay, and they didn't tell us. I spoiled it. They didn't tell us where we were going. We just got in the car and started driving south, and then the sun came up, and it's like 10 o'clock, and then we're at Six Flags Magic Mountain. Whoa, Dad, you're not such a jerk after all. Yay, you know. And I don't remember much about like the trip. Like the actual part. The part I remember is I don't know, it was getting later in the day. I don't know what time the park closed. I know it was getting later in the day. The sun was still up. So it was afternoon, evening. And there was and I was like a 10-year-old girl. My brother was 12, my dad and my step monster. And they wanted to go. Now this is at a theme park, right? And we know about Disneyland, what happens to kids at theme parks, stuff like that. So they all wanted to ride the Colossus, which is, at the time it was the last wooden roller coaster in the United States. And so they wanted, let's go. So they went and they waited in line, and it was like 2 hours. I was a 10-year-old girl. I was left to my own devices. Autistic, not so neurotypical, don't want to get in trouble. They're just like, stay right here, we'll be back. That's what And so, and I remember I had to pee so bad. I had to pee, but I didn't want to go find and I didn't know where the bathroom was, and I didn't want to look, because if they came back and I wasn't there, I didn't want to get in trouble. So I about peed my pants too. Because stuff like that happened all the time. A lot of times I would pee my pants because I didn't want to go into the women's bathroom either. For that's another story. But I hated public restrooms. And so they left me there, and then by the time they came back, because the line was really long, it was dark. And then, how dare I? Don't I even act like I'm disappointed? Don't you give me your attitude. Don't pout. Don't ruin everybody else's time. Don't be a spoiled sport. That was like my whole, and I didn't even catch on to this stuff until probably 10 years ago. Like, I was 40 years old before I started freaking figuring out that they're just taking advantage of me. All while they have these really cush lives, while I'm just been fucking like dying out here trying to keep me and Mom from being homeless. But God has given us grace. As long as I keep doing the right thing. Living from my heart, which my brother will make fun of me for doing. You always did live from your heart. And he actually was, it's so funny because all these congruences to the Wizard of Oz, and stuff like that. Because I was the Toto. I was the little Toto. Well, technical order distribution officer, office Air Force base. And then he was in a play when he was young, in like junior high, or he was at Deer Creek, where we got pictures of it. He was the Tin Man, and I'm an age ranger. See, this is what they give you. All you gotta do is give 6 years of your life, and then you can be a part of the greatest club in the world, which is the world. See these planes? This is the RC-135. Now, I was in from 2000 to 2006. You need to go outside, baby, go walk around. These planes literally are just hearing devices. They would just fly. Now, because it takes, if you get on a plane and go, like, it takes like 3 hours. And they would take off during the day, and then they would come back like 6 hours. So they would just fly. And this is right after this is during the Patriot Act. So that just gave free rein to listen to all the Americans, and then determine who was a threat to America. When really what they're doing is like collecting dirt. Like, that's what all the ditties it all ties into the same cloud server. It's all, and then who has access to the servers? That one chick that was married to that one president that got a Hummer, and they all do, but he got caught for it. Oh, I gotta check on Lunatical. Are you getting hungry or something, Mom? You alright? We had kind of a big lunch. What do you want for dinner? What you do, girl? What you do, prettiness? You want out? What's it gonna do? Woo, it's getting chilly. It's nice to be able to let the dogs out.
It is. It is nice.
And they can just walk around.
Yeah.
I got a new light today. What do you think about that, Ma? You like that?
Very pretty.
It came with 2. So I got one in the living room, and then there's one in the corner here, and then it's nice. And I can connect it to my Bluetooth and then play the music and stuff like that. And
Nice.
yeah, it's nice. And then I got this. I'll show I'll get the box. I won't get all the attachments. What occurred to me today is that basically, because my brother was never really around. He was always off by himself reading Trivial Pursuit cards or something like that. Figuring out how to cheat the system. I got that. Got one of these. So it has the hand mixer, and then it has all those that come with it. It's pretty cool. So I'm going to make all kinds of cool stuff on that. With that. And then I always wanted one of these. Because I make a cup of coffee. I don't drink a lot of coffee.
No, we don't.
But I make a cup of coffee, and I gotta drink it really fast. I guzzle. I'm a guzzler. I consume things quickly. And I drink, and it's or if it's really hot, I'll leave it, and then I'll go off, and then I end up microwaving 1 cup of coffee 3 times. So I got one of these, and it has a USB in it, so I can charge my phone through it too. So, so what had occurred to me today is like we've created a reality. Pretty much, like, if you know that question that people ask, like, if you could go back to 15 and you know what you know now, would you go back and do, like, you know? And that's kind of pretty much how we live our life. Like, for the most part, I'm still that 15-year-old Marge. I had braces. I got braces when I was 40. But I'm still pretty much that, like, that same, you know, most of the time, like, you know, and then sometimes all the 50 years, like, and then my 50 years of intolerance or 15 years of impatience, you know, of 15 years of having to deal with bullshit. I ain't gonna fucking deal with this shit too. I ain't gonna put this on the pile with the rest of this shit. All that stuff, you know. Only I've created a life where I can, you know, like I was when I, like, because we always had to stay home. We never had any money, you know. And then after Mom got her head injury, you know, things, you know, and then she did real good on her own for a long time. She'd go off and do her volunteer work in the community and stuff. All this whole life I didn't even know about. She got awards for, you know. And so she, pretty remarkable lady. She is. I'm getting hungry. I don't know what, I think I'm, anyway. So what else? So basically it's like, you know, and we're in a place where we don't have, I mean, I don't have to, scary, like, I knew when I decided that I was going to have 4 cats, or 4 dogs, and a cat, and then I promised that I'd take care of Mom, when I in 1989. I always make sure that she always have her needs met. She'd be nice and comfy, you know. And then it's kind of funny how we found out that she was the youngest of 12. How she, you know, that's why I kind of baby her, you know, because she never got to be the baby, so she gets to make all the choices, you know, like you want to eat this, or that, you know, like, so she really gets to participate in her own life because she was either constricted by responsibility or she was, you know, devoid of privilege, you know. So why wouldn't I treat her good? And then I end up back in Taos, and I'm here to teach people that you don't throw your kids away. You create an environment that cultivates and enriches the environment to makes it easier for the mom to keep the kid, you know, and teach the importance of not being a gash. And don't be too slutty. And there's consequences to all this stuff. You go listen. I mean, there's all these people that talk about the same thing. I love it. I listen to William Donahue. I listen to the Stephen, you know, guy. I like all these people. Like, they all are a branch of the tree of knowledge, which I think the tree is electricity. It's like, you know, when you touch those glass balls, you know. That's the tree. It's frequency. Because people are attracted by frequency. Like, we end up on the globe based on our frequency, based on our life lessons that we choose to learn, you know, in the no place space before we reincarnate, and we decide, you know, we're sitting there in the Akashic records, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna learn this, and this. These are all the life lessons that I'm gonna go ahead and be presented with. I could take it all. I know I was up there talking shit. Oh yeah, I'll go through. Like, go ahead, give me Chiron and Aries. I could do it all on my own, no sweat. You know, and then like I get to planet Earth, and it's like you are gonna be a frequency that you're gonna attract a lot of a-holes, and you're gonna be ignored a lot. by people that you care about and stuff. It is just going to be a wild ride, but as long as you choose the right path, don't choose the course of least resistance. Know your ohms and be diligent and faithful, and take care of, make sure your mom's taken care of, because all this stuff, and just look at people with an open heart and try not to be too judgmental, because we're going to load your chart with judgment with the propensity to be judged. But you got to resist, that's what we learn. Like, we're given characteristics, but we don't have to dive in and leave into those characteristics. We can choose, like I have a craving for ice cream. Well, it's not good for you. People do it with worse things. They do it with pizza. They do it with they do it with weird stuff. And then there's that whole culture that they say, no, that doesn't happen. And the rest of the world sees how things are happening in real life for what they are. They're connecting the dots. Thank you, Native Michigan. I don't Ojibwe. I don't know how to pronounce that name. You and your mom have a blessed, wonderful evening. You're a good woman who is taking care of her mom. Much respect for you on your path. Salud. That's nice. When people come by. It's 5. I'm getting hungry. How long have I been talking? Over an hour. Yep, 101.35. Oh, so this is the trinket that they give. Well, I don't know if everybody got one, but I got one of these trinkets. And so this is like a pretty, it's kind of funny because under here, this is where, like, there's a bunch of tunnels under here. I'm pretty sure that building doesn't exist anymore, and they've rebuilt Straka. But, like, they take all the new airmen, when you get there, you go down to where GW went, and where all the buttons are, right? Okay, and here's a Tartarian building right here. Right, and then these are the eavesdropping planes that eavesdrops on America and then determines who's a threat to America. Here's like old timey buildings, from the, they just have been erasing history in Omaha for a long time. The General's Row, it's all where the important people get to live. That's the gazebo. We do our PT test there. I have on record, I was never good at running because I have bad ankles and torn tendons and stuff like that. But I do have on record where I did, because you got it's the PT test is the 1.5 mile run. It's how many sit-ups you can do, which I did 60, and then how many push-ups you can do. And I have bad lower back, as I was only I only did 46 push-ups in a minute. And then this is the presidential support plane. So this is the reason why I got to flip off George Bush on 9/11 is because when he came to off it to get on this plane, the Doomsday plane is what they call it, and then he went past and taxied past the aid shop, and they have their protocols. I broke protocol. Because you're not supposed to open a door when the president is taxiing past the night. That's when I was like, oh yeah, here you go. So, and then there's that. This is big on that human trafficking stuff. That's a big place for that, and all that stuff that comes from with that. So. Whenever they get like animals from other places, like, because there's people out there, they don't look at people as people, they look at them as animals, and they always had their like weird because see, when you're in IT always has to be there to support this stuff. That's what people don't get. You want to know what the creepy, but then you got people that like, well, they don't care. They just want to get a paycheck and freaking guzzle their Mountain Dew, or freaking eat watch the good stuff on the dark web. And it's just the earth is a very gross place, and I'm hoping that things evolve, up past that, like people come out of the grossness. We're going into Babylon and all that Gomorrah stuff, and it's all being revealed, and people are like, oh yeah, that makes sense. It's just kind of how life is, huh, Ma? Either you're gonna wake to the truth, or you're gonna stay part of the dream and benefit from it. And I just can't help but, anybody that is like that ignores me, I just can't help that they're part of it because they benefit from it. So they're not gonna go along. Oh yeah, Marge, you're right, because they don't want to, piss off the club. And I don't give a fuck. The club can suck my decorum. That's about all I got for now.